I think we can all agree the greatest story ever told was that of an Italian plumber who eats magic mushrooms while jumping on Goombas and dodging thwomps to save a princess from a turtle dinosaur. Nintendo's software development team is awesome, but Nintendo's legal team is terrifying. I actually tried to name my firstborn son Luigi and immediately got served a cease and desist, so I had to name him Snake instead. Today, the SEAL Team 6 of legal teams has their sights set on an open source project called Yuzu. It is February 28th, 2024, and you're watching The Code Report. People steal and re-upload my content all the time. I could do something about it and make a Digital Millennium Copyright Act report, but that would take an hour out of my day, so instead I just bend over and take it. Nintendo, on the other hand, will not be bent over. They have a long history of defending their intellectual property rights through legal action. Back in the 90s, there used to be this thing called the Game Genie, which allowed you to modify Nintendo games to cheat with things like invincibility. The thing sold millions of units, but Nintendo sued Galoob Toys, arguing that they were violated because it modified their copyrighted works. Nintendo lost that lawsuit.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
However, Nintendo doesn't always lose. If you have a Raspberry Pi laying around, one thing you definitely shouldn't do is go to retropie.org.uk and download this tool that turns your Raspberry Pi into an arcade with emulators for NES, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64. RetroPie itself is not illegal, but if you go to websites like emulatorgames.net, you can download ROM images, which are digital copies of video games. These websites still exist, but a few years back, when Nintendo released its mini retro throwback console, their legal team went after ROM hosting websites, and this one dude who is making $30K a year from ROM Universe has been ordered by the court to pay $2.1 million to Nintendo in damages, to be paid in $50 monthly installments, and the guy's already defaulted on the first payment. Nintendo doesn't need the money, but they want to ruin this guy's life to send a message that Nintendo will not be bent over. And that brings us to 2024 and the Yuzu emulator lawsuit. Yuzu is an open source Nintendo Switch emulator that you can find on GitHub. It's written in C++ and allows you to run Nintendo Switch games on Windows, Linux, and Android. It currently has 34,000 stars, but be careful not to click this button because you might get sued. Yuzu also has a Patreon that's bringing in $30K a month. That's a nice amount of money, but they're going to need a lot more than that to fight their legal battle with Nintendo, where they're accused of, quote, facilitating piracy at a colossal scale. And because Yuzu is actually making money, it helps justify Nintendo's case to go on the offensive. Let's take a look at how Yuzu works so you can decide who's in the wrong here. First, you go to yuzu-emu.org to download the installer. You then configure the settings for your hardware, and now you're ready to start playing digital versions of Nintendo Switch games. Well, actually, it's not quite that simple. You'll also need a hackable Nintendo Switch. Here's where the legal gray area comes in. For some games to run, you need to dump system files from a real Nintendo Switch, and in the documentation it explains how to do this by exploiting older Switch consoles that are vulnerable to the Fusée-Gelée exploit, which is a cold boot attack that exploits a flaw in the NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor used in the Switch. The exploit runs before the bootloader, allowing you to change anything in the existing Switch OS. This allows hackers to run custom firmware and homebrew applications on the Switch, and because it's on the processor itself, Nintendo can't fix this with a simple software update, and that means most units made before mid-2018 are vulnerable to this exploit. Now, Switch games are also encrypted to prevent piracy, but Yuzu can dynamically decrypt them at runtime, and Nintendo is arguing that that violates DMCA, which clearly states that you can't circumvent software protections. What's interesting though is that the actual encryption keys don't come from Yuzu, they need to come from the end user. So technically, Yuzu's not providing pirated games, just the tools to actually run them. And it's typically legal to reverse engineer something and emulate it as long as you're not breaking digital rights management. There's another Nintendo emulator out there called Dolphin that runs GameCube and Wii games. It was going to be released on Steam, but then they put the kibosh on that after Nintendo filed a DMCA complaint. In that case though, Dolphin contained an AES 128 encryption key used to encrypt Wii games in its source code, and that gave Nintendo a much stronger argument that Dolphin was actively circumventing digital rights management. Nintendo never actually sued Dolphin though, they only got them deplatformed from Steam. With Yuzu though, you need to bring your own keys, which makes Nintendo's case a lot weaker, because again, there's a lot of legal precedent that protects emulators. It's illegal to pirate software, but that's not what Yuzu is doing. It's merely giving you a gun with the emulator and teaching you how to make bullets in the quick start guide, and really there's nothing wrong with that unless you use that information to go postal, or God forbid, pirate a Nintendo Switch game. This has been The Code Report, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.